Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Mathews, and this is What's Next, Wall Street.
This is a show about winning trades.
Right? We're here to help you learn about trading in a fun and entertaining yet useful way.
We're going to talk about all the new hot products and services that we think you not only want to use, but also invest in.
We'll also cover the fundamentals of those companies to make you an informed trader and make it easier to target the investment potential.
Yep.
Plus, we'll share our thoughts on where the charts and indicators say a stock is going.
Yeah, so that can in turn help you with a trade plan that suits your needs. Basically, we're going to keep you up to speed on what's next on Wall Street so you can stack your gains.
So you can email us or hit us up on social media with your questions, and we can even direct you to instructors and experts over at Options Players who dig into those fundamentals.
So let's check out some of the emails. Okay, Dave, what do we have on your super fancy computer here?
Let's go to my 1959 Philco Predicta with an LCD panel.
Right.
All right, our first question comes to us from Eric in Dallas, Texas. He writes, what does it take to become a consistently profitable trader?
Hello, that's the question everybody wants answered, okay?
Absolutely. Well, there are many types of traders that utilize many different strategies, but the one quality that profitable traders all seem to have is a sound rule structure. A predetermined trade plan only has value if it's followed, and if you are wrong, you can learn from that result for the next trade.
Right.
There can be value in losing a trade. Staying consistent with your plans yields consistent results. It's easier to fix mistakes if the variables are the same, so you can be consistent and you will enjoy consistency.
Okay, so the key word is what? Consistent, I think?
It's consistent,
okay, so let me see what else we've got. Okay, this is from Sel in New York who writes, when I'm trading positions, my results are great. Every single time I go big, I lose. What is that? What could I do to avoid the situation? Is somebody looking over me and trading the opposite side just to punish me? Smiley face. Ugh! My husband gets on me about this all the time, and it's really simple. Emotions. Emotions are a trader's worst enemy. Similar to what Dave just mentioned, consistency is important. And when you deviate from the consistency, then you tend to introduce emotions. Emotions tend to pull you away from your trade plan, just like in life. And that creates losses. So if you can take emotions from the equation, you'll get more wins and less stress. So let the numbers do the heavy lifting. As the millennials say, get your weight up. I probably used that completely incorrectly, right? I probably did. All right, whatever.
To piggyback off that, not the getting your weight up part.
Get your weight up. Okay.
Because yes, Georgia, you used that phrase incorrectly.
All right.
So we often hear the spreadsheet mentioned. If you work in a spreadsheet reflecting a tangible goal each day, you'll be astounded at the results you can expect over time. That's a great exercise that can bring you back to earth.
Got it. Okay, remember, there are no bad questions. So if you've got a question or a comment for us, feel free to hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street, or you can email us at WNW@OptionsPlayers.com and get your weight up. I just want to say that. It sounds so cool. Get your weight up.
All right, Georgia, you've got today's Market Minutes segment?
Yes.
What
yes.
you got?
All right, so Janet Yellen is set to be the first female Treasury Secretary in January, and she's being warmly received by the markets. Now, Yellen suggests that the federal budget deficit is no longer dangerous because low interest rates make them more manageable, and private sector lending is not being crowded out. So she goes on to say that inflation is not an immediate danger. Yellen has warned in the past decade that fiscal stimulus plans were being dragged down by super antiquated fears of debt and inflation. Her focus is going to be growth and employment, which is bullish for equities. And as Fed chairman, Yellen was widely praised for growing the labor market while keeping inflation historically low. She was particularly lauded for striking a delicate rhetorical balance with her policy. So basically, she got her weight up.
I don't know why she's even yelling.
We are both so cheesy. This is so bad. We're going to get fired.
There's another sector you should become. Welcome, Jen. I should have just left it at that.
Yeah, stop yelling, dude. Okay, what is it? Okay.
All right, it's crypto.
Okay.
So higher inflation generally translates to higher crypto demand. So many eyes continue to be on crypto with hopes for a Yellen tailwind.
We just won't stop.
While we're on this subject, the biggest update in Ethereum's history will begin the next phase on December 1st, but it'll take time to become fully functional. Some estimate until 2023 for Ethereum's new phase to even happen.
Okay.
So regardless, it's moved higher with this anticipated upgrade, and it's really worth watching.
So Greg Krause, lead instructor at OptionsPlayers.com, is joining us today. Let's see what Greg has to say about crypto. Hey, Greg, you there?
Oh, I'm here, Georgia.
Greg, what are your thoughts on crypto, both from an investment standpoint and a utility standpoint?
Well, I don't invest personally in crypto, although I do have some that was kind of here and nor there. There are a few things. I mean, it's one of those cult things. Like, is there some point to the value of, say, a Bitcoin, or like you was saying, a Ethereum or something like that, or even Ripple? In a way, yes and no. So how much, if you buy it right now when Bitcoin's right at the 20,000 mark, it could ease the volatility for a regular trader. That's great. As an investment, that could be very dangerous because it could lose, its volatility is so high, you can lose a very large portion of it. So if you do choose crypto, you need to make sure that you manage that portfolio so you're not putting too much risk into it. Now, like I said, I'm not a big crypto trader or investor. There are some crypto that I think could grow more than others. My favorite would be Ripple or XRP. It's a little different than, say, Bitcoin, although it is the third largest, has the third largest cryptocurrency market cap. But a few of the difference is between Ripple and that is it's almost instantaneous for companies to use it. So if you wanted to purchase something in that transaction, it would immediately pay that company, almost instantly pay that company that in the dollar amount. While if you're in Bitcoin or some of the other ones, when you actually purchase something from a business, it could take a while for them to do it. So they're holding that. So now they're taking on the risk. And most businesses are not going to take on that volatility risk on something that should be a fixed variable in their economic plan or their business statement. So I think XRP or Ripple probably has a better opportunity to go mainstream through, like PayPal and Swift. I think are already using current systems with Ripple right now.
All right.
So Greg, with this takes two different takes on the blockchain, right? It's either proof of work, which is what Bitcoin uses, where processors have to go through a massive mathematical formula. In fact, in 2015, they said that it would take an average household's 1.5 days of electricity usage just to confirm a trade, right?
Wow.
Exactly. And Ripple doesn't use the blockchain, like you said. It uses the Ripple protocol census algorithm, if I recall that correctly. And it's centralized, right? So it's much easier. They are handling the stuff. So it's not on a blockchain. There is no mining it. And like you said, even in today's age where the use of energy is always regulated, we're trying to go green and everything like that. What's regulations going to do is people don't understand how much of the world's power is actually just on Bitcoin alone and not including all the other miners.
And what they mean by this, Georgia, is the video cards from NVIDIA that we've talked about on other shows, they have massive processors inside of them. And you could have 4 or 5 or 6 video cards, or even these new decoders called ASICs, just processing like 1,000-watt light bulbs burning, trying to perform these mathematical computations.
Okay.
Now, Ether doesn't, as they move to their second stage, they're going to use something called proof of state. And proof of state doesn't require all the mathematics. It relies on the value of the network by people holding the coins instead of having to sell the coins just to pay their power bill.
Okay, because when y'all were saying blockchain, I thought you were saying blackchain. I was disappearing into the back. Like, no, I ain't about to be on no blackchain.
Oh, no. And I think that's a good thing that they're doing that, because it's about 1% of the world's power, or about the size of like the Czech Republic. Everything they use, about 10 million as of like 2018. So 1% of the wattage used or the power used by us is spent on Bitcoin. Imagine.
Wow.
That's why one reason why it's so expensive. So if that goes down, what will happen to Bitcoin? I don't know. It's one of those things where if it's cheaper to actually mine, that could hurt the value of Bitcoin. And you don't really see that too much. Everybody wants to give you all the positives when the price is going up. But there are some issues there when it comes to regulations and things that could affect the economics of it.
Well, I know personally for me, I bought a bunch of Ripple at a quarter. It went to 51. I immediately sold because how often do you double your money like
Exactly.
that? And now it's up to 60, 70 cents. So that's okay, though.
It's all right. You doubled your money and you're buying lunch. Thanks so much for your time, Greg. All right, so Dave, in consumer news, Adobe reported that Black Friday 2020 online shopping surged 22% to a record $9 billion. That's not all. Americans spent a record $10.8 billion online on Cyber Monday. That's up 15% from last year. So that makes it the largest online shopping day in U.S. history, according to analysts.
Meanwhile, the best-selling toys were Star Wars items, Hot Wheels, Nerf toys, and video games, including Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Madden NFL, and NBA 2K21. In the electronics category, Apple AirPods, iPhones, air fryers, my favorite home gadget.
I know, right?
And Amazon Fire TV were top sellers.
Okay, I got Star Wars stuff. I got Hot Wheels, Nerf toys, Super Mario. People even still using Super Mario stuff. I got all those and 3 Apple products. So yeah, it makes sense. Well, gosh, I hope my kids are watching this. But we are glad you are. So now I want to know what's next with tech. What you got, Dave?
Well, what's next with tech is brought to you by WeFix Media. And today we're going to talk about 2FA. You got 2FA?
I mean, not really. I don't even know what it is. I want to seem cool. I want to know, but tell me what it is.
All right. Well, what that stands for is two-factor authentication. And you definitely want two-factor authentication.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I had to use this before when I was trying to stream a movie that I stole. Let's just go on. You tell me what yours is and we'll just...
Well, when you're logging onto a website, you have to use your username and your password.
Right.
And those can be compromised. Those can be shared across the internet.
Okay.
But if you have something like a 2FA, which could be your cell phone, receiving a text message, an application on your phone.
That happens when I shop, bro. They're like, let's send a text to your email. Okay,
that's right. So that second factor is something that is outside of your traditional username and password.
Right.
What that means is if they go after the website for whatever shopping site you're on, they could get all the credentials out of it and then use those credentials as you, meaning your credit card and your address could be changed, but your credit card is still being used. So I have a couple of 2FA keys here. One of them is by YubiKey, and the other one is by Google. And each of these has different benefits. One of them plugs into the USB port of your computer.
Okay.
The other one uses Bluetooth and NFC. So what these do is they confirm that your device, the second factor, is near your other device, your laptop or your cell phone. So now when you go to execute a trade or go to an online shopping site, if you have two-factor turned on, this is the second factor. And have you noticed, it's on my keychain. So these stay with me. So you might leave your cell phone on a park bench or somewhere on your desk. If someone would walk up to those devices, they could impersonate you as well. Well, this second factor should always be on you. Now,
so what's this button do?
So that turns on the Bluetooth transmitter. So you only need to turn on the two-factor when you're nearby your device going through the transaction. So that enables it to run for years on a very small battery.
Wow.
Now, the other one gets power off USB, but the detriment to the USB device is you have to be near a computer. And your mobile device now, it's taking up 50, 60% of what most people use for a computing device throughout the day. So that's why I recommend the Bluetooth version of that.
Got it. What's this?
That's a key to my heart.
All right, we're going to take it. No, take it back. Get it. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today on What's Next Wall Street. If you want to get at us, it's so easy to do. All you got to do is email us at What's Next Wall Street at OptionsPlayers.com. You can hit us up on social media at What's Next Wall Street. Why are you looking at me like that, Dave? You thought your joke was so funny. Y'all don't know. He thought he was so funny. He's going to be saying this for like the next, this is a key to my heart. Did you hear that? Ha, ha, ha.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave Mathews.
And I'm Georgia Alfredas. We'll see you next time if we don't get fired after today.